Hello and welcome to HT Auto. I'm Shubhadeep Chakravarti and today we are presenting the digital exclusive first drive review of the upcoming Audi Q2 SUV. Yes, it's the most affordable SUV, although the launch is on October 16th. And today we are going to tell you everything straight from its looks, proportions, the driving comfort, and how it is on the inside in terms of features and to sit. So without much ado, let's get this show on the road. Being part of the Q series obviously means that the Q2 would be categorized as an SUV, and yet it has certain visual elements and certain proportions which also lend it a little bit of a hatchback, perhaps a little bit of a coupe-ish appeal. But before we get into the specifics of those, let's look at how the Q2 looks right up at the front. And there is no denying that this car here is an Audi. Now that's thanks to the large single frame octagonal grille right here with the very familiar Audi badging here that you just can't miss. On either side of this grille are wedge-shaped LED headlights with DRLs integrated. The bonnet is nicely sculpted and the wheel arches on the side are decently sized as well for that rather muscular appeal. Now when you step from the front to the side profile, that is where the SUV appeal, the muscular design that we just spoke about, gives way to something that's more coupe-ish. That's largely thanks to the stooping roofline around the C-pillar, which has now been blackened out. The Q2 sits on 17-inch alloys which are perfectly sized for a car of this shape and proportion. The windows are not too large and not too small either, but how much the elements come in through the windows, we'll get to that when we're speaking about the cabin in detail. But for now, the profile of this vehicle, thanks to the blackened out side mirrors and overall shape and design, seems like it's more of a coupe. The rear visual profile of the Q2 has a nice sculpted appeal to it. The LED taillights look really sharp and the twin-tip chrome exhausts also add to the sporty appeal of the vehicle. The boot space inside the Q2 is more than generous and would be adequate for a family of 4 on a weekend getaway, or even more perhaps. Step inside and there is no denying that this indeed belongs to the Audi family with the same inherent genetics. You know, sometimes we speak about cars which are not too large on the outside, but somehow still manage to offer a whole lot of space on the inside. Well, unfortunately, Q2 is not one of those cars because space is definitely at a premium, especially in these rear seats. Now, the driver's seat here is positioned to how I like it when I'm behind the wheel, and I don't know if I look uncomfortable, but I can tell you that I won't be too happy, especially on long highway rides. That's because the knee room is just about adequate, the leg space is okay, and the under-thigh support, well, is not much to write or review about. The window line here is also a little too high, which makes the windows look a little smaller than they actually are, and most importantly, I'm sitting very, very upright. Just take a look at how upright I am, and I have not found a single button which would allow for the seats to recline just a little bit. On the flip side, and rather on the positive side, the cushioning on the seats are fantastic and the overall stitch and quality of the materials used is impressive and very Audi-like. And you also do get 2 USB chargers and a 12-volt charging socket. 4 in this car? No trouble. 5 on city commute? Perhaps. Packed on highway drives? Well, let's not push things now. The front section of the Q2 is really the business end of the vehicle. I just love the reassuring thud sound that the doors make when they close. Anyway, getting to the front of the vehicle, you see that you have a nice view of the road on the front as well as on the side. It's not commanding like we say for some SUVs, but frankly we didn't expect it to be. The fit and finish of the car is not much to complain about because there is a whole lot of soft touch plastics around the vehicle here in the cabin. The AC vents, the turbine shaped AC vents are also nice and sporty, although we've seen this before. What we've also seen before are the tactile buttons to control the air conditioning. The steering wheel is also typically Audi, giving it a sporty appeal, which helps when the car is on the move. Overall though, the cabin does appear to give you a more premium experience, but certain features do appear a little dated. Just take a look at the main infotainment unit. It looks less like an infotainment unit inside an Audi and more like a small tablet from 5-6 years ago. The display for the driver, the MMI screen, is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, it's so gorgeous that it makes the main infotainment screen look really bad. If you order the MMI Navigation Plus with MMI Touch, you also get a touchpad on the central control element. And this particular review unit has Audi Virtual Cockpit and rear powered tailgate, but as option only. You once again get a 12-volt charging socket and one USB point just under the controls for the air conditioning, and there are cup holders here as well. And just when I was wondering where the space is to put the phones, I looked down and there it was under the armrest. Now this would perhaps the Quattro design element at play just under the dash and little over the glove compartment is a nice touch, which extends to the central console panel on your left as well if you're the driver. Q2 will come in with a 2-litre TFSI petrol engine with Quattro all-wheel drive system. There's around 184 bhp of power for the taking and around 320 Nm of torque. Now there's a reason why I leave bhp and Newton meters all in voiceovers, because really in a sense, the jargon aside, the capabilities of a vehicle is when it's on the move. So it's time to put the Q2 in motion. I've driven the Q2 now for about 80 to 85 kilometers, half and half in city traffic conditions and out on open roads. Now it's a safe bet to be speaking to you as well because I'm out on a clean straight patch of road. But in all honesty, I'm blown away by how exciting, how engaging the Q2 performs on both city traffic conditions as well as open highway roads. I truly believe that the credit for how the Q2 performs is because of the dimensions and the weight of this vehicle and that Quattro 2-litre petrol engine. For the first time perhaps, I'm not even missing a diesel engine, and Audi has been famous for what its diesel engines are capable of, but in the petrol, not even missing that engine at all. The power to weight ratio is absolutely fantastic, ably helped by this steering wheel. It is buttery smooth. It is done in a nice balanced way where you'll get the reassurance in triple-digit speeds, and yet it's flexible enough for me to be actually doing these turns I'm doing right now. Round and round, around a roundabout, and well, no problems whatsoever. As you can see, perhaps the body roll is also at a minimum. I'm doing these roundabouts and I'm very comfortable. Of course, the bolstering, the side bolstering on the seats on the back here are ably helping. My body is slightly moving, but I'm not being thrown around at all to the left. So let's get out of this roundabout and actually get a move on. In dynamic mode, when you're actually hitting triple-digit speeds and beyond, and remember, always drive safe, but when you're doing that, there is a very noticeable weight increase on the steering wheel. So that helps in the car feeling a lot more reassured, the driver being more confident despite those triple-digit speeds. Now when you move it back, the drive mode, to say a comfort, the steering becomes lighter, more flexible, more responsive. I'm especially impressed by how the Q2 behaves even at triple-digit speeds. Now I'm at 95 right now, about to hit the triple-digit mark, and while there is some road noise coming from those 17-inch wheels, it is nothing to complain about because the overall handling capability and ride quality inside this car is Well, typically Audi, and that's a fantastic thing. The suspension setup on the Q2 is also done very, very well. So it does a fantastic job of masking over speed bumps and those craters that roads here, especially in Noida and in Delhi, also in Gurugram, are a bit of a challenge for regular vehicles. Now, how fast can the Q2 really go? I never do 0 to 100 sprints unless I'm on a test track, and because I'm not on a test track right now, I'm not going to do something against the stopwatch, but let me just still accelerate and in a sense give you an idea of how quick it is. The car is maintaining a steady straight line, and if I need to brake, yes, the brakes got the bite to actually bring all of that acceleration down safely. So yes, there is a lot of reassurance that this car is coming. In fact, if I have to point out one major big strength of the Q2, it has to be how it handles, it has to be how it drives. Audi will bring Q2 to India via the CBU route. Now that means that it could be a little pricier than some of its direct rivals here. The car has got decent looks and excellent drive proportions and can make a solid proposition for somebody looking to break into the entry-level SUV segment. Space on the inside, well, leaves a little bit to be desired, and the feature list is a little bare. What do you make of the Audi Q2? Do let us know, and thank you so much for watching.